A new social media ban for young people in Australia took effect today.
This is world leading. This is Australia showing enough is enough.
That's Australia's Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, announcing the ban taking effect. Australia has become the first country to ban anyone under the age of 16 from platforms like Instagram, like TikTok and Snapchat. The move is now raising questions about whether Canada could follow suit and how a policy like that could work here. Matt Hatfield is the Executive Director of Open Media. He is joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
So this is huge. This is a landmark law. What exactly does Australia's new social media ban do?
So it's going to mean that on a lot of these social media platforms, in order for anyone that the platform thinks is a young person to stay there, they will have to provide ID that they're over 16, either a government ID upload or get age estimated by facial recognition software, or in some cases, platforms are trying to guess from their pattern of interaction on the platform that they are of over 16 or under 16.
Teens say they're just going to find another way to do this, right? They're so smart. So how are platforms enforcing this? Like, who's policing this?
Well, they're being asked to sort of police themselves, and Australia is kind of essentially trying to get them to tech harder, to just apply all their know-how to reduce the number of young users on their platforms as much as they can. And then if Australia decides that they haven't done a good enough job, then penalties will apply. And
who gets the penalty?
It would be the platform that would face a penalty of up to 50 million Australian dollars.
Could we see something similar happen here in Canada?
It's possible, but this is an extremely blunt tool to quite a complex web of different problems for young people. It may help some of these problems partially. I don't think that it will deal with some of the other problems, and it could have some really unintended negative consequences. So we wouldn't really recommend Canada rush to follow suit.
When we talk about addressing problems, like what are we talking about specifically?
Well, it's a great question. I mean, I think some people imagine young people will be sort of rolled back in time to a pre-internet era. That's not going to happen. Young people are still going to have private messaging. They're going to have other platforms like Discord. And so a lot of the problems that we do see for young people online, things like online bullying, I think will just move to other spaces. It may deal with some harms related to algorithms on these social media platforms in particular, but it could have negative consequences as well if young people are accessing these platforms illegally, which many will, and they run into trouble on those platforms. It may be harder for them to go to an adult in that situation.
So I know you said that we can be looking at this, but take it slowly on our end. What would Canada need to do to implement a ban like this?
Well, I think we're waiting to see how this actually works in Australia. Australia is saying that they're going to keep pursuing young people to whatever platforms they go to. And there seems to be no limit to how far Australia is willing to try to go to expand their ban. Really, it's an open question how well this is going to work at all. So I think until we have a clear indicator of what the consequences have been in Australia, it would be really bold and perhaps foolhardy for Canada to do the same thing.
So if Canada doesn't adopt a ban, I mean, what other kinds of youth safety measures are being discussed?
Yeah, so there's more nuanced things you can do. In the last parliament, there was something called the Online Safety Act, and one part of that act would impose a duty to act responsibly on online platforms, which wouldn't ban anyone from being on the platforms, but they would have to think about the risks to their users, including young users, and explain to the Canadian public what they were doing to mitigate those risks. I guess that could involve banning young people, but I think in more cases it would involve things like changes to the algorithm to better protect young people. And I think that's a much gentler and probably more appropriate approach.
Matt Hatfield, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.